Welcome to the preview show ahead of our game against Wealdstone, but first, here's the thoughts of Ross Jenkins and Josh Ashby. Relegation has now been confirmed, but it's far from a negative here at Oxford City. Plenty more points to play for, starting on Good Friday against Wealdstone. It's going to be another tough game, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not good news, but we've been sort of battling with off-the-pitch issues, with injuries, etc. all season, and we've put in some really good performances. So naturally, yeah, it's deflating, but at the same time, we know how far we've come. We've got to look at the positives, and some of the performances this season have been really good against full-time clubs. So something we need to take a lot of positives from. A lot of points to play for. We want to finish on a high. The boys are dead keen to keep going and put in good displays. So I think that's really important for the back end of the season is to make sure we finish the season as strong as possible. We've got some really difficult games coming up, teams in and around the playoffs, so they're going to come with its challenges as well. They're going to want to be pushing for 3 points, but at the same time, so we want to play some really good football to finish the season. So loads of positives, more positives than negatives this season, I must say. Some pretty poor decisions in there from referees, but that's football. But yeah, really important we look at the positive this season because there's many of them.
Yeah, obviously big disappointment from us this season, obviously with the relegation. But we've got to look forward and move on. Like you said, we've got Wealdstone Friday, big game for us. We've still got 5 games left, and we want to try and get as many points as possible. Really, starting with the Easter weekend.
It's difficult, isn't it? Because no one wants to talk about it because it's not a nice thing to talk about, but at the same time, it doesn't feel the atmosphere around that. It's a team that's been relegated. Every single point means as much as it always has done, I suppose. Do you get that feeling as well?
Yeah, I agree. I think obviously there was a lot of disappointment after the weekend. We've had conversations within ourselves as players, and obviously as a staff and a group of staff and players together as well. And look, we know we haven't probably been good enough this season, but like you said, the atmosphere is still there. Everyone's still excited to play and to get ready for the next 5 games and trying to pick up as many points as we can to get as close as we can to kind of the next 3 in front of us.
We can still have a big say ultimately on the direction of the National League. I mean, we've got Wealdstone who's still fighting for survival, but then after that, it's teams that are fighting for the playoffs and the various positions in that top 7. We could be the spoilers, really. Is that the aim? Just to kind of upset the apple cart, or is it more on task on ourselves?
Yeah, I mean, it's you don't want to give anyone easy points or easy games, so we'll do what we can to put up a good fight and a good battle. If we disrupt the top boys, then we disrupt them. That's football. We've had some really good games against some of those boys already, so we look forward to them, definitely. But I think the most important thing is the performances we're looking for. We want boys to play well, to come out of their shells and have no fear, because the results are the results. What's happened, relegation has happened. We want to plan for the future in the next few years, whether that's 3, 4, 5, 6 years to come. But it's important the boys, put in a real good effort, and if that's to spoil someone's occasion, then that's to spoil someone's occasion. That's football. So we'll do what we can to try and win the game and try and get 3 points. Our season's not done. We've got a lot to play for, a lot of pride, and a lot of things we want to see tactically from our boys as well. And I think you learn a lot about players and staff and fans when you get bad news, to see the characters come out. So we're definitely looking at the characters of players, the staff, the fans, the atmosphere. We want to see the true characters now of boys on the pitch putting real good performances in, and that starts by playing against Wealdstone. They had a difficult result against Altrincham, another part-time club. It's difficult being part-time in this league, but we need to really focus on the positives, because there's been plenty of them.
So I am James Gilmore, and my job title is Football and Development Sports Manager.
Oxford City is not just about the first team. That's the first thing I learned around here.
Yeah.
Seeing people on the pitches all day long, it's incredible. How often are those pitches utilised?
Probably too much. Probably way too much if you're to ask sort of the bosses. But from 9 o'clock in the morning till probably about 9 o'clock at night, we've got people in and around the pitches, using the facilities, whether it's our stadium pitch, our community pitch, or our netball courts. We've got people coming in. I see a stat the other day that over 400 kids come through our doors every single week. So if you think 400 plus parents and friends and family, you take in match days and men's and women's match days, that's a lot of people coming into Oxford City Football Club to use the facilities. That isn't just about watching our first team, it's about using facilities, it's about wearing the badge for their team and doing a little training session or playing for our grassroots boys or girls or our JPL teams or our college programme. Like, there's so much more to this football club than just our men's first team.
I said to you, oh, my daughter's had a premature baby, been in hospital 84 days. Suddenly you're up at the JR talking to the premature baby unit, and what we're going to do is SNAP.
So SNAP are a local organisation that help sort of families that have gone through premature births. So they will support obviously the mother and also the family, because sometimes they might feel excluded. Obviously they're going through a lot of tough times. So one of our charities that we want to try and help. We've gone to speak to them, and then we're lucky enough to invite them. They're going to come down here in a couple of weeks. And again, what can they use here that we can help them? So can we provide them sort of a safe place to be, a safe place that they can park and go and walk and not worry about sort of parking fees? Can we provide some of their maybe siblings some football opportunities, or got a place here to kind of do some work or catch up if they need to? So organisations like SNAP, organisations like Ronald McDonald House, organisations like Sobel House, all of these charities that I've been in contact with, Thames Valley Police, sort of things that we can help out, because we're so close to Oxford and we're such a multicultural sort of city and there's so much going on here. How can we even just help in the tiniest way to make their lives better, to make their enjoyable better?
You are a nightmare. Don't mention Sober House, because there's a big thing coming with Sober House for the summer, which is so exciting. I might explode from this side of the camera. It's brilliant. That's going to be unbelievable. The reason I actually got you on here, you built up your part. You're meant to be on here 30 seconds. Power chair football. That's coming to Oxford. That looks unbelievable as well. What is it?
Yeah, so we've been lucky enough to get some national funding to start power chair football in Oxford. So we're going to start at Oxford Sports Centre, which is obviously just down the road. Just providing opportunities again for people that might not normally be able to play football. So power chair football is very similar. We've got our power chairs that we own, and obviously we give out to them. And it's just an opportunity for them to get out of the house, to socialise, to come and meet other people, and to just try and have an opportunity to play football in a safe sort of environment. And then potentially we can grow it to go and play sort of competitions and festivals and invite them in. We've got a very successful Oxford City Casuals, so it's our Pan Disability team. So they train here every Sunday, so we try and get them involved.
Good Bobby tournament here on Sunday.
Yeah, there's so many people here.
Hundreds of people here.
Yeah.
It is brilliant. You are a great ambassador for the club. However, you've now got to go out and put Easter eggs all around. We've got a game tomorrow. Something for the kids, isn't it? Again, those kids that came for the Halifax game, loads hopefully come back. We've done the same offer again, haven't we, for schools?
Yeah.
Plus all of our age groups. So if people are coming down, there are goodie bags, there are Easter eggs everywhere. We better go and sort that out, haven't we?
We do need to sort it out. So all of our junior and youth teams, players have been invited tomorrow to come down. So hopefully we'll get quite a few people. Hopefully we'll obviously get a nice sort of game, an Easter weekend.
You know, at the start when we did that, that's meant to be me doing the intro, because people know I'm the face of this. You're just the voice.
Yeah, pretty much. I think we should keep it that way maybe going forward. But like I say, I've got to build up my portfolio.
If I'm the face of Oxford City, we are in massive trouble. Right, come on, you talk to Josh, you talk to the manager. The mood around the place, despite relegation, is exactly what they said. It's still a buoyant place to work.
Absolutely. It's really disappointing. Obviously, no one wants to get relegated, but at the same time, we're level-headed and we know the challenge ahead of us this season. But the lads have been fantastic. I mean, the mood in training. I mean, they were training yesterday, and it was almost like nothing had happened, and in a good way.
But that gives a slightly difficult impression, because they do care. They genuinely care. There was nobody more upset than the players, and Ross, obviously, when they got relegated. But I think it's been inevitable for maybe a month, really.
Yeah, it has been. But at the same time, those games that has followed, that there's been nothing but blood, sweat and tears, and the lads, it's been really pleasing to see. We always go on about the local Oxford lads, but the lads that have also come into the equation this season and more recently, they are really playing for the Oxford City badge. And unfortunately, I mean, I think we've picked up just a couple of points, and I think that's really unfair when you look at the actual performances. And they were so disappointed on Fylde, not just because of the R word, but also because I think
you can use the R word now. We are odd.
Well,
you're allowed to say it.
Yeah, but I think, you know, it is really disappointing. We were probably where we were tipped to be, if we're completely honest. But yeah, but I don't mean when I say nothing's changed. Nothing's changed in terms of the mentality. They're still fighting for every single point. These last few points of the season, they still want them as much as they did on the first game of the season when we played Aldershot, which is nice to see.
We both went and saw the Senior Cup game when they played Tame, and some of the kids got on. Did you say the youngest ever goal scorer?
Yeah, so Charlie Bacon got on. He's featured a couple of times now, and he's been in and around it in the Senior Cup, which was nice to see. Full bench of under 23s development players as well, and Cian Duggan, who got the goal. I mean, he was assisted by Charlie. A goal literally made by our academy, which was really pleasing to see despite the result on the night.
James has been talking earlier about all of the other activities that happen. The academy and the youth setup is thriving here as well. Maybe that's something we've got to get across to the people at home.
Absolutely. I mean, there's a problem. It's like an iceberg, Oxford City. You see the tip, which is like the first team squads, but below it there's so much going on. And credit to Jordan Piper, James Gilmore, Aaliyah Anthony, the whole. I'll be here all day, but everyone there from Velocity, because they're doing such a great job. And the players that are coming through are really talented. We've got a few players out on loan or a dual registration sort of thing below, further down the pyramid, and they're doing really well. And Ross Jenkins likes to keep a close eye on them, and yeah, I think they're doing really well, and perhaps we need to get that across a little bit more, because we really are becoming a breeding ground for talent.
Yes, not in front of the camera, clearly, looking at this. Right, so we are playing at home on Good Friday. We're away at Barnet, aren't we, on the Monday?
Yeah.
If you come down on Friday, there's all sorts of activities for families to enjoy. If you can't get here, are you ruining the airwaves on Friday? Are you on the radio?
I'm not on Friday. We are on Monday, so your ears are safe on Friday.
Yeah. Tune in on Friday then to BBC Oxford for any other game, and then he'll be back on there on Monday. Look, come down. It's going to be good here on Friday. We'll see you then.